January 30th, 2025. Today is a very happy day for a few of us as Sitecore has announced their MVP for 2025. Uh, Himadri is awarded for the 11th time. Rob is 8th time, and I have received my 4th technology award today. So it's an excitement to receive the award, and it's a happy day. Today, Rob is going to take us to a journey on Sitecore Content Hub and the external components. I have worked on Sitecore Content Hub. It is one of the amazing tool. I won't say just a digital asset management system. It has few more hidden tricks. So I'm excited to see the tricks by Rob. Rob, please go ahead.
All right, thank you. So let me get my screen share here.
Are you able to share the screen?
Yep, I'm working on it. Let's see. Make sure. Let's go entire screen. Okay, I got it here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to, so this is going to be a live demo. I do have a presentation, as you can see here, but I'm going to actually show you everything live. So just a little bit about me. Go from Sitecore Runner. I'm based in Chicago. Company I work for is in Minnesota, so not too far, but I'm Content Hub admin certified and developer certified. So got both of those last year, and I enjoy everything with Sitecore, you know. So, and Content Hub is special because I really like the whole data stuff. So so today we're gonna go over connection types. Then I'm gonna do the external components demo, and there's lots of bits and pieces to this. There's a GitHub example, there's bundles, there's hosted, there's page layout, portal assets, sending properties. I'm gonna show you the storybook, video players, entities, and then anything odds and ends. And then I noticed when I presented this before, people want to know more about the Content Hub, so I'm gonna go through the process of creating an asset as well. You know, just so you get a kind of an idea of like, okay, what is Content Hub? I'm gonna also be able to, hopefully timing permit, show you some of the beta AI features, especially in CMP that have been recently released. So let me take it away here. So a little bit background here. Back like last year, I wanted to incorporate Sitecore Connect, which is kind of this external thing that Sitecore offers to connect to different external stuff. So one of them was Content Hub, and I wanted to extract data, but I wanted to do it a certain way, and I kind of hit a roadblock with that. I'm like, oh, you know, it's okay, but there's a lot of setup and stuff with it. So then I went into, well, maybe I can go into Content Hub and I can call something from there with the action scripts. Well, then I hit a kind of roadblock there. And then someone says, no, what you need is external components. And my first question was, what external components? So I found out, all this research, I found out there's a couple of GitHubs out there, and I can paste this in the chat at the end, but there's two that I found. There's one by Style Labs, and there's one that Nikki Verdura came up with as well. Both great resources, and that's kind of what got me started into experimenting with this. So there's stuff out there, and it's getting more and more popular. The advantages is you're using React, and I'm new to React, so I'm not like an expert on there. I'm learning it as I go along. But with that React library, you can do a lot more, like call an external API, you know, if you want to bring in data from into the Content Hub without worrying about any restrictions. It's real time too, so everything's brought in there as you're viewing an asset. So I have those libraries here. I got them up, and then I've just been using Visual Studio Code. Now, the React part is cool, but there's also the part to hook them up to Sitecore is real easy, and I'm going to go over that first. So whenever in Content Hub, any type of layout that you see, here's an asset that you see right now. Any type of layout you see, you can change this. And with external components, it's basically just adding them to the asset detail page. And I think I got to log back in here. So let me refresh before we keep going here. Maybe not. Okay, perfect. So the first thing I did is every developer does, I did a little hello world React thing. And that is very simple. This thing just sends the word hello world, and React takes it and then renders it out. Real simple. And I was like, okay, cool, it works. But what if I need something from that asset or whatever page I'm on? I need the entity ID, or I need the title or something like that. I could use the title to search some external API. It could be a whatever, and I want to find out more about that and display it or whatever. So I started going down that road. I looked at the repositories, and then I came up with a bunch of stuff that worked really well, and I can turn them on and off here. And I'm going to turn this testing live one on. I'll show you why. Okay, so when I refresh, you'll see these will appear. And as you can see, it uses my username and the ID. It grabs the title. And these are just simple React components on here, and it grabs the color. Now, one of the things that's cool about this, I was like, okay, this is really neat. But what else can it do? Well, in the examples, you can also have hooks. So like on save or whatever on change, as soon as you hit that, it'll hook into, and a React component will be called, and entity ID save. No, I got undefined, but it picked up the entity ID, all that stuff. So you had that code in there, so you're able to hook into events. So let's say they change the title, or you want to take their title and they hit OK, and then you want to do a quick search on something or display something based on what they chose. You can do that, and you have all your React components. So let me show you. So these things here are open one up. These right now point to bundles. And the way you do these bundles is in React, there's a command that you run, and it bundles it as a JS file. And I will show you the code. We'll get to that. But the other option is the from path that you can do as well. So you can actually host that component and update it real time. So you don't have to compile the bundle and then upload it and everything. So we're going to do that real quick. Find it. So this one. Yep. Okay. So let me find a quote here. I want to prove to you that this is actually real time. I didn't print it. Hopefully got a good one here. There we go. So I'm going to grab this. Let's put it here. Now I get a couple choices here. Like I was saying earlier, I could bundle this, or I can host it. And just to do that, it's so to bundle, it's a npm run build, and then all that's going to do is bundle these up here, and I'll show you where to upload those and all that. So it'll be a JS file that's created, and these are TypeScripts that we're using to create those JS files. And I'll kind of give you an overview of those too as well. But for this one, we're going to host. So you just run npm run serve. Give it a couple seconds here. Okay, so now it's running. It's localhost. So let's go back to that asset that had the error. So we see that error back here. So let's refresh this, and we should see, hopefully, if everything works. It's refreshing here. I'll give it a minute. Well, maybe not. Let's try it again. Thinking about it. Oh, there we go. So here it is. Here's the quote that we just did. So going back to pages, let's go to here. So instead of that from asset, I got that path, and it's just simple React.js. So it's being hosted. If I took this and showed you, kind of looks like that, but similar to what a bundle would look like. It has all the code that you need and everything in that bundle. So, I mean, really the advantage of this is that you can create any kind of React that you need that's kind of outside. So if someone didn't have access to the Content Hub, theoretically, they can create this external component in React, test it, and see if it works, and then it can be plugged in to React. I mean, to Content Hub, sorry. So let's go back to my presentation, make sure I grabbed everything here. Okay. So one of the things to start with, how do we communicate to React? And whenever you set up one of these external components, you have this configuration here, and you don't have to use it, but if you want to send something to React, this is where you would set it up. So in this case, I'm setting up a title. And if you look at anything in the entity of an asset, you'll see a title. And there's all these other different fields and stuff that you can send. So it's just a matter of accessing them. So if we looked at this client example JS in here, this is all set up to grab that parameter. Now, it doesn't specifically say title. It's like any parameter you send it in, and then all it does is return it here. So it grabs it, and then it gets re-rendered on the page. And there's like 3 files that support it, but this is all part of the examples, and this is all part of what you see with the examples. Go back here. So it's one way you can communicate. But the rest of these, pretty simple. There's no parameters in this one. The pop-up that we see, let's go to that one real quick. This is the alert test. There's no parameters on that one. But that one, I'll show you let me find the hook for that one. It might be in this code repository. Yeah, so this one, if you see here, there's this event listener here. So every time that entity is saved, it's gonna hit this, and then it's gonna call this React component and then render it. Then I gotta go into details on everything with React. I mean, that's something that you want to kind of do on your own. But I'm still learning it too. But kind of to give you an overview, when we're looking at the code, the TS files are interfaces, classes. The TX files are design. That's where your HTML is. There's just kind of a guideline on when to use them and stuff. So you'll see they're using TypeScript in the all the GitHub stuff examples, but you can use. There's other ways of creating React components. The bottom line is you want the JS in Content Hub. So however you do it doesn't really matter. It's just as long as that's what it compiles to. So all those portal assets that these contain, you can get to them either by a page. You can click on portal assets. Here they are. So with this, you would just upload files or wherever you wanted to upload them. But all it is we'll go open one, but it gets uploaded, and it kind of looks like its own asset or whatever, but it's just the JS bundle. And that's what you would use to connect to your external component if you're not using some kind of hosting of that bundle. So it does get a little bit messy, as you can see. There's a lot of different ones out here, but it's pretty easy to go in there and add it anytime you need it. So let me show you. I'm going to do the video asset too. So if you look on the settings, by the way, here's the portal assets, and then here's the pages. So one of the other things I'd like to show is the asset video. I also did something for that as well. And with this, I'm going to show you how you can upload an asset. So the video pages, I just put one external component on there. It's from an asset. It says video player.js. Let's see. Let me find it here if I can, if I have it up here. It's in one of the examples here, but that was contained in the example. And that's another example where you can take something that's in Content Hub and actually use React to modify it, get data from it, whatever you need. Let's see if I can find that one. I know it's in one of my things here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, you don't want that. That's the output. So this is what, so when you do the build, this is what gets output here. Well, let me see. I know I'm probably looking right at it, but search. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I've had it here somewhere. No, that's still the distribution. Well, anyways, there's an example out there for it, and pretty straightforward to do. But basically, it's going to take the video of your asset and then play it. And which brings me to creating an asset. So we're going to do one for video. So you haven't seen the Content Hub before. You always want to start with just adding something, whatever you can import to Excel, but we're just going to do one single asset. So this is going to be the whole lifestyle of it. I picked out a video here. Let's see. Make sure there. There you go. This one I have it. Okay. I picked one of Columbus, so we're going to upload that. And with the Content Hub, if you haven't seen it before, there's a job processing in the background that's going right now. So eventually you'll see see something there, some kind of preview. But what happens at this point, so you have this in your workspace, it's uploaded, it's created, but it doesn't automatically get approved. It's not going to be out there. So you want to make sure that it goes through a workflow, just like Sitecore's workflow. All right, there we go. So job finished, it's completely uploaded. So I'm going to pretend like I have, different departments. So here's, it's still there. Hold on. All right, let me click into it.
Hey, that's the riverside.
Yep.
There's a park there. Often go there.
Yeah, so I all right. Oh, okay. So I'm going to submit this for approval. Okay, now it's off the create. Now we're going to review it. Yeah, it looks good to me. All right, so let's go back to assets, and it's going to take a little bit to show up, but some videos here. And keep in mind, so if you're doing the Content Hub for the first time and you want your company to set it up, or partner, or whoever, or you have access to it, it does give you the option to automatically populate it. So I did it with the Play Summit, and so I'd always have images in there and kind of play around with those. So the video looks like it's uploaded. So as soon as we go there, so now it's out there, it's available. down here, we got our external component. So simple React takes that entity, takes the information, takes that asset and says, here, I got a video player. So this is just simple React component. It was pretty easy to create. It has an example out there. So, but it shows you that, I can take that page and do just more than just laying out. I can put React components in there and do a little bit more for an author to see and do. All right. Let me make sure I covered everything. Let me go look at my presentation before we do other stuff. All right. Oh, let's go talk about, I think the last thing I need to talk about is Storybook. So this is simple. This is probably something more so for the React developer that doesn't want oops, let's do that again. There you go. The React developer that just wants to do, of course, is not running. Make sure it runs here. So what it does when it does load here, I might have it up already. So hold on, it might be my other repository. Let's try it again. See, live demo. It's not. Oh yeah, here you go. It's in this library. Sorry, still learning the whole React thing and libraries and what's in there. I do recommend LinkedIn Learning though. I've been going through that to figure out this stuff. So coming from C# for several years and MVC, it's a little bit different, but there's a lot of the same syntax. All right, so this will load. And this storybook's in one of the GitHub examples. So let's wait till it loads here, builds. All right. So real simple stuff. Here's that quote that we did. But yeah, you can use it to test different things. You can send parameters to emulate the Content Hub. So if there's something that, so if it's something that somebody says, I don't have access to the Content Hub, but I'm a React developer, they can use Storybook to help them along, and then whoever has access can upload it. So, but yeah, it gives you a little bit different things to do, and it's pretty sweet. Like just to be able to quickly test stuff. So, all right. So I think that's what I wanted to basically cover for external components. And if you have any questions, let me know. But we'll have questions at the end here too. But what I wanted to really show real quick is some of the new features that were released last month. So under campaigns, while we're in here, I think we're still pretty good on time here. So you can just create a new campaign. You got to have some kind of AI, right, in your presentation. Let's do some simple here. All right, first thing I want to do is I'm just going to add existing items. So what this does, this allows you to use assets that are already there. use the video that we uploaded. Let's add some more stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of biking stuff in here. So you can add similar assets here. But that part's cool, you know, you got that. But let's add some content stuff. And this is where you'll get to see the kind of the beta stuff. It's still listed as beta, at least last time I checked. So there's a content piece, and this is the CMP. This is different from the assets. All right, so what you'll see here now in Content Hub is this little AI thing generated with AI. Let's just do. Am I spelling this right? Maybe. Oh, Christopher Columbus. Let's try that. All right, we don't want to insert the whole thing, so I just do one. Okay, so let's do the body. That's all I came up with.
I think it's like, you know, trying to generate a content for the body is like not just generic content, but like, you know, something that might be useful for the body.
True. Well, before last time I did it, it was like had like a whole format with like headers and stuff. But this will work. I just wanted to show you how the AI works. Yeah, and then you can also, you know, if you needed this for review, you can start it and then go in progress. So let me show you something else too. We still got time, I think. I'm gonna upload an asset here. Let's see how good the it tags it. So let's see if I can see this image. C drive here. Make sure we got this. All right. So with the newer Content Hub, the AI stuff, and you probably might have saw it at the symposium, but you can, when you upload an image, it's supposed to kind of come up with keywords and stuff, kind of figure out the image a little bit using AI. Here. There you go. So hopefully it'll do that, but let's see. All right, again, it's processing in the back end. Should be fairly quick, but I will say, like, the nice thing about using React and using Content Hub, it's not really processor heavy. So, yeah, it's the days of using like real heavy machine. Hopefully we don't need as much resources, but it seems pretty lightweight. Okay. So it didn't put keywords in there for me. Sometimes it does. I've seen it do that, but it did do similar assets, which is really cool. So it did take this picture and came up with similar assets that look like it.
No, don't you need to select something in image analysis?
Let's see. You might be right. Oh, okay. Let's try it.
Is that section or in overview there is another option? Like we generally have, we had AI tagging, something like that. We created tag.
Okay.
So in few minutes, it will auto generate all the tags, colors, and it will populate.
All right. Perfect. And this also does, you said it do colors. Okay, so it does these. Okay. So let's see. Looks like it. So you said it's still processing when it has auto tagged in there?
Can you click on the edit on overview? First section on that, though, second though, first section.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Marketing type.
That's exactly it. I remember now. It's been a while. Something like that. It's weird out of the by default. Some random field like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes to select, but I think it should.
All right. Well, let's give it a try here. Now, as you can see, the external components are kicked in. So let me change the title too while I'm doing that. And hopefully I'm spelling the name right. Sorry if I'm not. So see, while it's waiting here, you can see that the title here rendered. I don't have that React thing running, so it's going to just fail on that. Now, you can hide it if you don't. If you go back to the page settings, you just there's a hide button. But anyways. There we go. Perfect. Wow, look at that. So yeah, there you go, AI. And then the description came up with a train crossing a bridge over a body of water. I don't know if I see a train, but
Yeah, some of those AI descriptions, they're funny.
yeah. Yeah. I guess I could have used a better quality image, but you know what?
No,
And it gives them a start. So you got to look
for
at
sure.
it. So, but yeah, so that's pretty easy upload. And then this should, let me make sure. Hopefully it appears in my entity. I have to make it public. No, let's pretty print this. Oh, there you go. So yeah, so if you need any external thing to grab that entity, you got this that API that's public in Content Hub. If you didn't know, I know it's one of those things that once you get into it, you use it, but it's good to have. So I think, let me make sure I covered everything. Nope. Let me paste. I'll paste these resources in the chat here. before we leave. My chat. Well, there we go. So does anyone have any questions? I'm gonna look at the chat here if there's anything. Yeah, I agree. Content Hub, best AI. I'm hoping that they put more stuff like in the other systems like 10.4, but just the client I'm working on now, that's what they're using, and they can really use something like that AI. So I know it's going to make its way through all the systems eventually. But I do try to listen to the little banner when you log into, I forgot where it's at, but there's a banner when you get into Content Hub that shows you like everything that's new.
Hey Rob, I was just thinking about like external components. I've never used them. It sounds cool. Like, can you just like help me figure out a good way to figure out if external components is a good thing to go for my use case, depending on what happens? Like, can you just talk through when you first came up against whatever situation you were in and why external components made sense a bit more? So it's hard to figure out for me.
Yeah, so it started because like I wanted to be able to call like an external API and not go through the whole thing with Connect. So Connect is like a separate process that you got to kick off and run, and that does the stuff. Then I look at the action scripts, which are, let's see, let me go into those.
Connect is like you got to buy Connect. You might not even have.
So yeah, and I should say, because we're with a partner, we are automatically get
cool.
it.
Cool. Yeah. All good.
Yeah. So I looked into the scripts, but it was like you're limited to what that can do. There's really no like external stuff you can do with it, and you're limited. So with the React stuff, you're able to. So with the scripts, you're kind of limited to what you can get in here, and it's good for manipulation, data updates, and some business logic. But you didn't really get that external stuff.
That makes sense. If I want to take like data that's housed in Content Hub anyway and do something with it, then I could probably figure something out internally. And if it's external data, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's starting to become more clear.
Yeah, it gives you, and there's a lot of, I know a lot of us do C# and stuff, but there is a lot more React developers coming up. Yeah, in that framework using Next.js, and it's kind of like where we're kind of heading. So especially if it's something that you haven't used before, I would recommend definitely getting those libraries and getting the GitHub stuff and just playing around with those and getting those to work, because it really is a good way to get to know how that framework works, since it's kind of like the direction Sitecore's heading.
Nice. Yeah, I'll check out those repos.
Yeah, and then I recommend the LinkedIn Learning is pretty good for the basic stuff. I'm still getting through that, but that's been good for just getting to know the basic stuff. And it really, I just been using Visual Studio Code for it. It's not a lot of heavy stuff as your traditional MVC stuff, but seems so far okay. When I was at the symposium, I saw people that had MacBooks, so it's like, I would never have thought about developing on a MacBook, but it's possible with React and stuff. So you're not forced to use Windows. You could use Windows on a Mac using like Parallel or whatever, but you don't have that limitation. So if you're an Apple fan or whatever, but
yeah, that's cool.
So
do you think it will open up more possibility to write some sort of agent or something using like OpenAI or Gemini or something? Because like it's about integration, right? And you want to automate something using agent. So You can use LLM to actually look at content and images within the Content Hub. Maybe you can extend it to use some agent in the Content Hub itself.
Yep. Yeah, and so that a good example of that would be like if you were doing a content for cars and there's a bunch of external car APIs. If someone puts that car in there, there might be an API just for cars that you don't get from AI or whatever. It's just one thing, and so you could bring that data into the Content Hub and they're able to view it. So it opens that possibility of you're not limiting yourself to what's inside Content Hub. You can do something with React that you normally would do, and there's some really good React examples out there. I've been working with like the Marvel API, which is I really recommend. It's pretty cool and easy to use, and that you can like type in a character's name and it gives you this whole list and stuff. So if somebody was doing comic book Content Hub and stuff, they can use that and they put in Daredevil or whoever, and then all of a sudden here's this thing that populates on the screen. I'm working on this, but you see it right away. It's on the API, and you can host that API too, like your code and everything to do that. So or a bundle, or you can have it as a bundle. So I don't know what people prefer. If they prefer just hosting all the React components or just uploading the bundle. I mean, obviously you host it, it's up to date, so you don't have to worry about re-uploading it. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely check out the GitHub stuff. Nicky Verda has some good. I never met him, but I know he has some really good stuff out there. There's a tutorial that I first did to do the Hello World, which is really good too to get started. The only issue is it's kind of outdated because React does change quite a bit, a lot of new updates and syntax changes. It's stable, but not as stable as like I would say like something like C# where it's been around for a while and there's subtle changes. So it does change, but yeah, it seems like that's kind of where everything's going. So
Awesome.
any more questions? You can always reach out to me. I'll try to get you the right answer. So
That's good. Any other questions, anyone? I think no questions. Thank you so much, Bob.
thank you. Thanks for having me.